What's up, YouTube? DUBKDAD, Team DKF. Pro tips for BKs, hand traps. With MST at 3, Heavy Storm is legal again. Cards you play from the hand have taken the role of the massive back row we saw last format. If you think about the evolution of hand traps, back in the day you had the Gravekeeper's Watcher. You saw very little play. You had Gemini Imps, saw very little play. The original Herald of Green, Herald of Purple. We got the DD Crow back then. And DD Crow was played a lot back then. It saw a little bit of play. But now it seems more than ever, cards that's played from your hand during your opponent's turn are huge. And I just want to take this time to give you guys a little tutorial, a few tips on how to play these cards correctly. Alright, we're going to do this video about Maxx C and effectively using Maxx C to its potential. I don't believe that you should use Maxx C as a one-for-one. I feel it's best used to its full potential. Try to get the +1 when you play Maxx C. There's a lot of ways to do that with good reads, and I'll just start off by telling you ways to get the potential and when I feel it's best to play the Maxx C. Foolish Burial into Dandelion. So they play the Foolish, they send Dandelion. A lot of players will Maxx C at this point. That's simply a one-for-one in my opinion, and I don't think that's good, because if they're holding the Debris Dragon, or if they're holding Lone Fire Blossom, they'll just save them for next turn and not give you the plus, because right now you're just sitting at a one-for-one and it's no big deal. You know, it's best they go Foolish Dandy, like no response. If they drop the Debris Dragon and then you chain Maxx C to its effect, reviving Dandelion, now they're stuck with a choice, a really difficult choice. Now they're stuck to consider, well, do I go for the Trishula and give them another card? You know, they synchro for the Trishula, you draw for that. When Dandelion comes and makes Dandelion resolves, you get another card. So they hit the card from your hand, field, and grave with Trishula, but then you virtually make that back up because you drew 3 cards. One for the Debris, getting back Dandelion, one for Trishula being summoned, and then one for Dandelion resolving. And so basically you just even out everything they just did, and that's why I feel that it's best to wait for the Debris Dragon. And on the same note, wait for the Lone Fire Blossom. They summon Lone Fire, they tribute for the effect, whether it be Lone Fire or token. Play the Maxx C then, because if they get Bulb or Spore at this point, you know, they're stuck with the predicament. Do they continue going? You know, do they keep going from here, or do they just leave themselves in a vulnerable position? If they tribute a token, their Lone Fire is in attack mode, and they're stuck like this because they don't want to keep giving you pluses. You know, so that's just the best use, making them stop. These are sure ways to where you absolutely plus and you leave them in a very vulnerable position. One-for-one dandy. Same here. They one-for-one dandy. Here it's a +1 if you drop the Maxx C, because you know they're going to special summon due to one-for-one. So you chain C. So you get the one draw when the level 1 monster hits the field, and then when Dandelion resolves, you get the 2 tokens. You draw again. Once again, leaving them in a very vulnerable position, because anything they do from now, you know, you've already got the +1, and any additional special summons that just add up. They go Formula, that's +2, and they remove for Spore, it's +3. They synchro again, that's +4. So it's a snowball effect. If you read Gorz, like if you dust shooted them prior turns and you had to send things back not Gorz, like they had Blackluster Soldier or whatever, the team and I have been taken to dropping the Maxx C at this point. because now your opponent has to think, like go Maxx C, battle phase on Maxx C. When they drop that Gorz in a Cayenne token, you get 2 draws, one for them special summoning the Gorz, and then when Gorz resolves, he special summons this other token. So you +1, you get the 2 fresh cards, and some players, that'll make them reconsider dropping that Gorz, especially if they feel that they can live. If they don't drop it, not wanting to give you the plus and letting you take the nay, then they put themselves in dangerous position of having that Gorz stuck in their hand because now their life points are too low, or or you just got so much damage on the board and now the Gorz is stuck in their hand. Tengu. Tengu's kind of difficult to say. If you have several monsters on board and you know that they don't have Tengus in their hand, or there's no Tengus engraved, they're all in the deck, I'm kind of iffy on playing the Maxx C and then crashing Tengus, getting 2 fresh cards. You get the 2 fresh cards, but you're not putting your opponent in a bad situation. And I always feel that Maxx C is best used when you can put your opponent in a bad situation, not just getting the pluses for no reason. Because if you think about it, you're only getting the +1. You get the 1 draw from the first Tengu, and then the +1 from the second Tengu after you kill it. Or yeah, second Tengu after you kill it. So I'm iffy there. I don't believe in Maxx C on Tour Guide. Only way I feel that you should Maxx C Tour Guide is if you can read a Leviathan or a Levier play. But if they're going first turn, they're getting Sanguine. So just save the C for later, because again, it's just a 1-for-1. They still have the Sanguine, and when Sanguine dies, they're going to get another card, and so it kind of erases the 1-for-1, and they go up a card. So there's just no reason to do that. Again, with Monster Reborn, a simple 1-for-1, I don't think is necessary. The only way I would Maxx C on Reborn is if they Reborn on a Lone Fire Blossom, or you can foresee some synchro play, out of that. Next case are agents, and you'll have to forgive me because I sold all my shine balls. I don't feel it's necessary to Maxx C when they paid the first 500 for the first shine ball, because again, it's just a 1-for-1, and they still have 2 shine balls, and if you can't kill the Venus, then they can just get the rest of the shine balls out on the following turn. I feel it's best way for the second shine ball when they pay 500, then you Maxx C, because now you've gotten 1,000 life points out of them, and they're stuck in a very precarious situation. They're thinking, do I pay for the 3rd ball and eliminate the dead draw? Do I leave my shine balls naked here, and now I don't have the Christia play? Do I gotcha up here? Because you got to think about it. After they got this here, they're stuck with this. When these 3 fairies die, Christia isn't live, and agents like to utilize the gotcha to bolster their Venus. And if they decide, well, I won't get the 3rd ball, but I'll need to go ahead and gotcha, you got the +1, and now they're stuck with the potential dead draw on the shine ball. When these 3 fairies die, Christia still isn't live yet, and in my opinion, that's the best use of Maxx C in that situation when you're playing against agents. Now occasionally you'll get the player who will go ahead and just say fuck it and get it all out, and in that case, that's awesome. You just get the multiple pluses. But a smart player will think really hard once they've reached the 2nd shine ball. They'll be like, well, why didn't you Maxx C on the first one? And say, well, because you would have stopped. And I believe in playing Maxx C for either the +1 or more, or putting your opponent in a real difficult decision, forcing them to do plays that they really don't want to do. Alright, YouTube. That was my discussion on Maxx C. Let me know what you think. And if you guys like it, I'll continue on with the series on the other hand traps. DUBKDAD out.